Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got a video here that has got some women in the comments up in arms about what she's saying. I'm not super familiar with this content creator, but apparently they're not really feeling what she's talking about in this video. So I'm not going to give you too much of a preamble. I'm going to let her go ahead and speak. So here we go.
Are crashing out on the internet again. Now they're crashing out because they're like crashing out, crying on the internet, because now they're saying that the United States government is not set up to support single moms. So they are saying, Black women are saying, and maybe some other women, and not all Black women are saying that, crying, saying that the United States government is not set up to help single moms. It's not set up that way. So let's roll it back to like the 60s. Remember when the United States government was actually rewarding certain demographics of people to keep men out of their house? Remember? You know what I'm talking about. Y'all were getting food stamps, Medicaid, housing vouchers, and the only stipulation for eligibility was you couldn't be married and there couldn't be a Black man or a man living in your house. You had to be single. And you guys were down for it. And I know this for a fact because my mom had a friend who was on welfare. The more children you had, the bigger your welfare check. You guys were good with that. You were just pumping out babies and on the government's tit. But now, because Trump is putting a kibosh on the eligibility requirements, you guys are crying, saying that the United States is not built to support single moms. When was being a single mom a thing? And now that the government's not coming to rescue you, now it's a problem. You shouldn't be a single mom anyway. Now, there are a lot of women, hear me before you go in the comments, that are single moms for several different reasons. My mother was a single mom. People get divorced. Shit happens all the time. People need assistance, government assistance, every once in a while. Maybe, maybe not. But the goal is, can you help me? And then you work to not have to be reliant. Black women, specifically the ones crying, not all, you guys just thought that the free train was just going to keep on riding down the track, all at the same time calling Black men specifically toxic masculinity. All you guys, the women, aggressive, acting like men. The men are, at fundraisers in red dresses. You guys are like supporting them. Black men don't want to have nothing to do with Black women anymore. You guys are mad about that. But now, because your EBT has been cut off or cut in half, and you have to have a work eligibility to even qualify, you have to have a work eligibility to get Medicaid unless you're a senior or disabled, now it's a problem. But it wasn't a problem a couple of weeks ago when y'all were getting free bundles at the hair beauty care place opening up. Black women are crashing out on the internet again.
And she's not lying about these things. She's condensing it. So there are a lot of details that's being left out, obviously. But at the same time, she's not lying about this stuff because Black women they'll deny it to this day that the baby boomer women, baby boomer mothers, decided that it would be better to deal with the government being on welfare and all of that type of stuff to the detriment of the family. And we all understand what those circumstances were that culminated into it, right? Because I've spoken on this before, how the government basically financially neutralized Black men by cutting them off from various job markets, things of that nature, moving a lot of those jobs, uh, not government jobs, but like assembly jobs, factory jobs, manufacturing jobs, things of that nature, eventually moving those jobs away, or locking black men out of certain industries by creating unions and things of that nature that would block black men, even that has skill sets, from entering into certain industries in mass. So we have that situation, right? But then we also had that same government appeal to the women to say, we know your man is out of the house and he's out of work, things of that nature. So you can sign up for these welfare programs instituted. The welfare that we know of today was instituted by Lyndon Johnson. Okay. I'm not going to go into all of the details of that. But LBJ was the one who instituted the welfare system as we know it, which started to incentivize the having of children without men in the house, specifically for black women. They enforced those rules differently for black women than they did for white women. White women were able to maintain their households even while on welfare. This is why the welfare system didn't destroy them like it destroyed us, because their husbands could actually sign up as heads of household and still receive some benefits from the government through welfare programs, Section 8 programs, things of that nature. They didn't enforce it for white people. They enforced it for black women, though. For black families, it was enforced. Whether those laws were on the books or not, if y'all wasn't alive to see that enforcement, I don't want to hear it, because my mother was on welfare. And I distinctly remember social workers coming out to make sure that my father was not living in the house, to the point where she used to have to hide his clothes and and all this other type of stuff, because they would go through your closet. They would go looking for evidence that a man stayed there or was there. So these are the actual things that was going on during that time. So I don't want to hear, well, that's not what the statute was. That's how they were enforcing it. They would not give these women Section 8 vouchers, food stamps, and all of the various access to the various programs if there were active men living in that household with her. She had to be, or at least she had to portray herself as destitute. It was just her and these kids, and she ain't got no job, and she ain't got no money, and she ain't got no place to turn to. That was the incentivization. Once a lot of women started saying, oh, this is how you quote unquote get over on the system, then that's what they started to do. So now, a quick way to get out your mama house, a quick way to quote unquote get on your feet or whatever the case for girls became go have a baby. Because if you have a baby and you automatically become eligible to receive these benefits, WIC and, whatever other benefits that they have. You can get on this program and that program. This one to help you get housing. This one to help you get money. This one to help you get food. This one to help, Now, the government, like we predicted, would snatch the rug out from under your feet, and now you're scrambling. The government is doing to you what you swore to God you would not let a man do. You know how y'all be saying, if he can feed you, he can starve you. So you were so caught up on not being under the leadership, under the guidance, or under the order of any man, and no men can tell you what to do, and you wasn't going to let these men have power over you, because, you'll be able to put a man out because the voucher is in your name. The food stamps and stuff is in your name. this one, this, that, and the third is in your name. So his name is nowhere. He not on the lease. He not here. He not there. So therefore, he can't tell you nothing. And y'all was quick with it. Y'all was quick with that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He got to get out. Blah, 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 blah. Because you don't want to allow no man to have the power over you, take nothing from you. But you gave that same power to a government that has proven itself to be not your ally. They've never been your ally, ever. Not one time in history have they ever been your ally, no matter what they told you, no matter what they said out of their mouth. Here you turn around and gave that entity this power over you that you swore to God you wouldn't give your men. And now, again, the same entity that feeds you, now they're going to starve you. Now they're going to starve you. And it's going from the welfare women who are on these vouchers and stuff, all the way up to the women who thought that they was something for having these certain kind of jobs, and it cut you too. They made you, like I said before, they made you the face of DEI, and so therefore you got to lose your job. So at every level that y'all have gotten in bed with the government, they've been kicking you out of the bed. Kicking you all the way out of the bed. And acting like they don't know who you are. And acting like they don't know how you got there. Acting like they don't know how this all happened and why are you here. Took you home, had a one night stand with you, and then woke up and act like they didn't remember that. That's what happened. That's what's happening. Woke up like, who are you? Get out. That's what he doing to you. We told you this. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.